Ever picked up a short daily message and wondered how it can pack such a punch? You know, how it builds this entire framework for belief and for action? Well, today we're going to pull one apart to see exactly how it's built. We're deconstructing a daily devotional on faith and healing. Okay, let's jump right in. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with one single piece of scripture. This verse from the book of Matthew, it's the anchor point for the entire message. It's the source code, really, where every other idea is going to come from. And you can see it right away. It sets up this direct link between faith and a real physical result. So how do you get from that single verse to a whole system of belief? Well, you start by establishing a core idea. The first building block is what the devotional sets up as a fundamental principle of healing. This is where the logic for the whole thing gets laid out. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Look at how the biblical story is simplified. It's basically boiled down to a super clear cause and effect. On one side, you have the problem, physical blindness, and on the other, you've got the solution, presented as a direct response, according to your faith. What this does is it creates this powerful, really easy to grasp principle. Your faith has a direct impact on your physical reality. Simple as that. Okay, so if that's the principle, the next logical question is, how does this faith thing actually work? And that brings us to our second section, which is all about explaining the mechanism. We're moving from the what to the how. And the source is really explicit here. It gives a very clear definition. See, faith isn't some passive feeling. It's framed as a crucial element that activates the power of God. So think of it like a key starting an engine, or a catalyst that kicks off a chemical reaction. It's the special ingredient that supposedly makes divine power accessible. And check out how they lay out the process. It's a simple 3-step path for the believer to follow. Step 1, establish the premise. Healing is on the table, it's available. Step 2, put the responsibility on the individual. We have to believe. And finally, step 3, that belief is what positions you to actually get that healing. It's a really clean, linear progression from potential to reality. So let's see where this goes next. Once you have the principle and you understand the mechanism, the message makes a really important pivot. It stops being just about what you believe inside your head and starts being about turning that belief into actual, tangible things you do. So the big question is, what are you supposed to actually do? How do you bridge that gap between just believing something and taking action on it? Well, the devotional gives you a pretty clear checklist. It tells you to do some internal work, right? Examine your faith. But then it moves to external practices. You're told to declare promises, to speak affirmations, and to pray. So you see what's happening here, right? These actions are specifically designed to reinforce and strengthen that internal belief you're supposed to have. And to make it even easier, it's not just a suggestion to pray. The devotional literally provides a script. This part of the prayer gives the reader the exact words to use. There's no guesswork. It's a ready-made tool to help you perform that final action step. But it doesn't stop with you and your personal actions. Not at all. The final piece of the puzzle connects your private faith journey to something much, much bigger, a global framework. This is where the personal becomes communal. And it turns out this little daily message isn't just a standalone text. Nope, it's explicitly part of this massive campaign. This context gives the reader's personal practice a much broader purpose. It's not just about you anymore. It's about being part of something huge. And just like it gave you personal action steps, the devotional gives you these very specific, structured ways to join the bigger mission. You can be a prayer partner, a volunteer missionary, or a kingdom investor. Each one is a clear-cut role, a pathway for your individual commitment to flow into this big, organized collective effort. And honestly, nothing makes a global community feel more real than this. A coordinated international prayer schedule. I mean, look at this. They have specific times set for Nigeria, the US, the UK, and more. What this tells a follower is that when they pray, they are not alone. They're part of a synchronized worldwide team. A simple table like this just transforms an abstract mission into a concrete daily reality. So there you have it. From one single verse in the Bible all the way to a global prayer schedule. We just walked through how this devotional builds its message layer by layer. It sets a principle, explains how it works, calls you to act, and then plugs your actions into a worldwide mission. So the question to really think about is, how does a structure like this, from the micro to the macro, create such a complete and compelling framework for its followers?